Okay.
Welcome to Hat Day on the Holyish Life.
Yes. And also known as the 12th day of Christmas, and also known as Three Kings Day, and also known as the Epiphany.
There you go.
So,
This is Lauren's day. Take it away.
well, no. Me and ChatGPT had a very long conversation about what does Three Kings Day celebrate? What does it mean? Why is it also called the Epiphany? And if this is the 12th day of Christmas, did they really show up 12 days after Jesus was born?
Who's they?
Sorry, the Three Kings, the Magi, otherwise
Oh,
known as the Three Kingsmen.
okay.
But they actually didn't show up till months and years after Jesus was born. Some accounts show up to 2 years
Say more.
after Jesus was born. So I'm sitting here in my mind thinking, Mary, Joseph, and Jesus are still in the manger 2 years later? No
Yeah.
way. This isn't going to camp out in this barn for 2 years, right? So then I started Googling and discovered that they had moved into housing there in Bethlehem. And the Magi were following a star, which a lot of us think about, did this one bright star, the North Star, suddenly pop up in the sky, and this is how they knew to follow it.
Yeah.
And I learned recently in church, and then also some other research, that it was likely a comet that was going through space at the same time, and they called it a star. And they followed that because Magi were sort of the soothsayers or the enlightened ones of the time. So they were educated and they researched things, and so they were curious.
And astrology or astronomy, I guess, was probably a big part of their culture, right?
Absolutely.
They're rather scientific. So they're
Yes.
studying the sky, trying to make sense of everything. So to them, this would have been like a big event. They want to go figure it out. That's
Totally.
right? Okay.
Absolutely. So you lay down two parallel tracks of the star in the sky and the birth of Jesus, and they sort of culminate in these magi, three wise men, arriving to Bethlehem and meeting baby Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no calendar correlation between the 12 days of Christmas, Three Kings Day, and when the Magi actually arrived
Okay.
in Bethlehem. The church picked a calendar day some years ago, just like we don't know that Jesus was actually born on December 25th, right?
Right.
It was just somewhere along the way they discovered and decided that that was the day. Similar with Three Kings Day. Okay. So they show up about 2 years later. But it's funny because when we look at pictures of the manger and we set up our own little mangers, you've got your three wise men in their little figures in there somewhere. But they were actually never there. They never went to the manger. They never went to the barn.
Okay, good hype though. They like got a main spot in the nativity scene.
Yes,
like
they
wow.
Main character energy, even though
yes,
they weren't there.
Main character energy.
Yes,
working smarter, not harder.
Yes, and I've grown up like celebrating Three Kings Day to the point of like laying out hay and water for the camels, because traditionally I grew up in a Catholic Hispanic family.
Okay.
And so like any holiday we were all in. And so
I've like literally never heard of this before.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, you lay out food for the camels and the donkeys and all the things that the Magi are using to travel the distance, because they need a snack.
Yeah.
And just like Santa with cookies and milk and the reindeer. So this was for the Magi. And so yeah, it actually has nothing to do with the manger, and they're not a part of the nativity scene at all.
Okay. So we're celebrating it 12 days after. It was really 2 years after.
Up to. Some accounting say months to 2 years.
Okay.
And and then why they call that the Epiphany is because once the Magi got there, they had this great epiphany that this is the king, this is the new king, this is the Son of God. And let's
from scientific
spread the word.
minds too. That's interesting.
Right.
That they came to that conclusion since they weren't traditionally Jewish. They weren't waiting on the Messiah, but that was the conclusion they drew.
Yep, based off of whatever scientific stuff that they had going on at the time.
Love that.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of history about Three Kings Day, or the Epiphany, or Hat Day.
As from now on will be known.
Yes, January 6th. So yeah, that's a little bit about that. Any questions that you have about it? I might be able to answer. Probably not though.
I mean, seeing as how I started with who are they, my knowledge is basic. My questions are also, but I think that's it. That's so interesting. The more you know.
I know, right? Yeah. And like I kind of knew broadly what it was about, but then used AI tools and things like that to help me dig into a little bit further. And I always thought 12 Days of Christmas was like December 13th or December
I
25th.
thought it was all about birds.
Yeah, the song, right?
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. And so, and like when you look at advent calendars, sometimes they come in 12-day advent calendars. And I was
Okay,
like,
I've seen that. I
and
think
so
I
I
have one.
thought
Yeah.
that was like leading up to Christmas.
Mhm.
But the 12 Days of Christmas actually start Christmas Day and go through
The Epiphany.
the Epiphany. Even though it wasn't
That
in
is
reality
cool.
12 days, it was months to years. We celebrate it in a 12-day span.
So interesting. Love using AI. That's another great topic we need a long form pod on is
yes.
where does AI fall in? What we trust, what we don't, how to use it, how not to.
Yeah.
Anyway, we need to take more time with that one. But this was so interesting.